John 12:1. Iesus ergo, ante 6 dies Paschae, venit Bethaniam, ubi fuerat Lazarus mortuus, quem suscitavit Iesus. Therefore Jesus went to Bethany 6 days before the Passover, where Lazarus the dead man had been, whom Jesus resurrected. Starting off the sentence, we have our subject paired with the verb venit, which is a perfect tense third person singular. And where did he go? Bethaniam, to Bethany. Got that accusative of motion toward. And we have ante 6 dies Paschae. Remember that ante does not only bear meaning in a spatial sense, but also in a sense of time, which is how it's being used here. Remember, ante takes the accusative, and the accusative plural of fifth declension nouns is still s, with that long vowel. The last thing that might trip you up in this verse is this phrase right here, ubi fuerat Lazarus mortuus. Normative rules of Latin grammar would have you believe that fuerat and mortuus are working together to create a pluperfect third-person singular indicative for the deponent verb mori. This, unfortunately, is not right. And the only reason we really know this is looking at the underlying Greek, which is actually rather interesting in itself because the Vulgate here is quoting a variant reading. The variant reading has where mortuus is in the Greek, hotethnekos, which would make the underlying Greek read where Lazarus was, that is, the one who was dead. So for this reason, it's better to understand mortuus as simply a perfect passive participle modifying Lazarus, and fuerat without any relation to mortuus as the verb. The last thing that I thought might interest you is to note another place where the Latin tradition differs from the general Greek tradition. So right here between suscitavit and Iesus, overwhelmingly attested in the Greek tradition is eknekron, meaning from the dead. And we can interpret this omission in two ways. One, that our Latin translator did not have a manuscript representative of the Greek tradition as a whole, and had a variant reading that omitted eknekron, or he thought, given the context, that suscitavit was sufficient to express what he meant. Given the translator's general preference for translating nearly word to word, even if it brings in some distortion, I would tend to think that he had access to a manuscript tradition that did not have eknekron. If he had had a copy with the normative Greek reading, we would probably expect one of these two to be in our Latin text.